Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Journey begins. Journey that's going to take me all the way from Birmingham, UK, all the way to my bend of Mowai. So hopefully you'll be able to join with me and share some of the experiences that I will discover, and I will see you over there. Well, good morning. Just woken up after having a lovely night's sleep. I needed that after the long journey from the UK. Been sleeping on the good old manja, the equivalent of our beds in the UK. I tell you, it may be made out of wood, it may be made out of string, but I tell you, definitely a good night's sleep. Well, where are we? We're in my bend of Mowai, which is in the district of Jalandhar. And hopefully over the next few days, I'll use the opportunity to learn and discover a bit about the people that live in the village, the lifestyle of the people in the village, and also just generally discover how people cope with living in a small village. Like I said, this is the village of Mowai. This was where I was born, but when I was about 3, I went over to the UK, and I've got no recollection of village life here. People tell me about all the stuff that I used to do when I was a youngster, or how I used to play, but I've got no recollections at all. So it may be interesting to ask a few people to see if they actually remember me as well. I have been to the village a few times before. Now that we are here, let's go outside and actually see what is actually going on and what the weather is actually like. Ooh, even though I've only been out here for 30 seconds or so, I'm sweating like anything. The weather is so hot. Must be about 40 degrees. That's what India weather is like. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's even hotter. So, like I said, we're in my village of Mowai. Now, where is Mowai? If people want to know, I point in that direction. That is Falor. And if I point in that direction, that is Nurmel. And if you carry on a bit further, it's Nagodar. I'm going to leave you now, and we'll catch up a bit later on, and we'll go and visit where my great grandfathers actually came into this village, or we may go and visit some people's houses and see how they live. But one way or another, I will come back to you. It's another day and another beautiful hot day. Today I'm trying to find out a bit more about my youth, because as I said, I was born here but have got no recollection of when I was young. So I'm going to come and ask my chachi what I was like when I was young. Bhai Khalsa, Waheguru Fateh. Kida chacha ji? Theek thak ji? Sat sri akal chachi ji? Theek thak. Tu mainu dasso, mainu to koi khayal hai nahi ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਖਿਆਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਛੋਟਾ ਦਾ? ਛੋਟੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਯਾਦ ਆ। ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੁਸਤ ਸੀਗਾ। ਇਹ 8 ਫੁੱਟ ਕੰਧ ਉੱਚੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਤੁਰਿਆ ਜਾਵੇਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਡਰ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਡਿੱਗ ਪੈਣਾ। ਤੂੰ ਹੱਸੀ ਗਿਆ, ਇਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਤੁਰਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਵੀ ਉਹਤੇ ਖੂਹ ਤੋਂ ਜਦ ਸਵੇਲੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਉਣਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਦੂਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਖੂਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮੋਈ 'ਚ, ਤਾਂ ਜਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਖੂਹ ਤੋਂ ਆਉਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਦਵਾ ਦਵ ਨੱਠੇ ਆਉਣਾ। ਮੇਰੀ ਚਾਚੀ ਆ ਗਈ, ਨੱਠ ਕੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਜੱਫੀ ਪਾ ਲੈਣੀ। ਇੱਦਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਚਾਅ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ। ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਸੀ। ਦੋਨੇ ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਤਾਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਆ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਚਾਚੀ ਜੀ
ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਲਿਬੜਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਗਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਨਾਲੀ ਦਾ ਗਾਰਾ ਸਿਰ 'ਚ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਣਾ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੰਜੋ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੇ ਹਟ ਜਾ, ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਚੱਕ ਗਾਰਾ ਪਾਈ ਜਾਣਾ ਸਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਹਾਂ, ਹੋਰ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ, ਏਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹਿਲਦਾ ਫਿਲਦਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ।
Here we are. I've left the bend. I borrowed an old bicycle. I'm just listening to a bit of Kirtan as I'm going through these paths through the fields, and I'm on my way to the land which my great grandfathers first started off in this village. Now, when I was younger, people used to say Tada Bend Gia. I didn't know what a village was or what a bend was. They used to say Tada Got Gia, and I never knew the answer to that. Well, I now know Bend is your village, is where you was born. Now, when they say God, it means what is the name of your village? Well, in my village, there is two goat. One is the Kelle, one is the Ghumans. I'm from the Ghuman side. The original people of the village were the Kelle. So I was interested to find out how come that there's another goat in this village, the Ghumans. And I've learned that the reason was that my great-great-great-grandfathers came to this village because they was given some land by a sister of ours long time ago who was unable to have any children, and instead of letting the land go to anybody, she says to her brothers, look, I've got some land here, it's only going to go to waste, why don't you come from your village, settle down here and have the land? And that is how our great-great-grandfathers came to this village. So that is why in our village we got Dogot, the Kelles and the Ghumans. And now I'm on my way to see this place where our great-great-grandfathers first came to this village. So on my way I shall go. So here we are. I've parked up my eco-friendly mode of transport, and if you look around now, this is the land that my family history in this village started from. Now Punjab, as we know, is the agricultural hub. Food is grown here, whether it's corn, wheat, potatoes. That is why we know, that is what we are known for. Punjab means the land of 5 rivers. This makes our soil very fertile, and the crops that we grow give us a greater yield than other parts of India. But what does farming rely on? It relies on water. Nowadays we've got motors bring up the water from deep below. They pipe it into tanks like this, and then the water flows to various parts of the field through these irrigation channels. Each field has got an entry point, and depending on whether the entry point is opened or closed will dictate how much water goes through. Now that is more a modern way of farming. In the old days they didn't have motors, they didn't have electricity, so they had to use the old-fashioned method of digging a big hole in the ground. But before I talk anymore, I better watch my feet, because you've still got snakes around. And so what I'll do is, this'll do. I'll grab this branch. Okay, you say, oh, if the snake comes for you, you ain't going to be able to do a lot. But what you don't realise is that with snakes, they can't see and they feel vibration on the ground. So if the snake doesn't know where you are, it can't attack you. So if you think he's looking at you, what you could do is you could tap the ground away from you, and that would distract the snake. So I'm going to make sure I keep this branch close to me. So I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to find where my great-great-grandfathers first came to this area of Punjab, namely the village of Mowai, and happy to say that I have found the centre point of where it all started for the Ghumans. So now you know why in this village of Mowai there is Dogot, the Ghumans and the Kelles. I am the Ghumans. This is where it all started from. This is the well that it all started from. The water within this well is what has made us. The water in this well has given us the opportunity to grow and prosper and make a life of ourselves. Hopefully you enjoyed listening to this part of my journey. Hopefully later on I will share with you a few more personal things of my life. I've been over in India now for just a couple of days, but as you can see my colour has already changed. I've gone a lot darker than when I came. But today we got the opportunity to go into one of the smaller houses in the bend. A family who's trying to do the best they can with what they've got. So let's go in and see the family and meet the family and actually talk to them. Compare this with your kitchen facilities back home. This is where Geeta Benji makes the food. As you can see, she's making the food for her kids. But before we talk to Geeta, we're actually going to go inside and have a look at the house. This is where they watch their TV, and they've got the fridge on the other side. You can class this as a living room, stroke bedroom, and over here we have the master bedroom. There is no such thing as air conditioning. If you're very fortunate, you have fans because you can afford the electricity. But people like Geeta, do they complain? No. This is their life. They're making the best of their life, and they're trying to do the best they can for their children. ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਗੀਤਾ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ, ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।
ਗੀਤਾ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹਾਲਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਦੇਖੋ ਮੇਰੇ 2 ਬੱਚੇ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਲੜਕਾ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਲੜਕੀ ਆ। ਤਾਂ 4 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਤੀ ਦਾ ਡੈਥ ਹੋਇਆ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਬੱਚੇ ਪਾਲਦੇ ਆ। ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਇੱਕ ਖੇਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਮੇਜਰ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਬੜਾ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ।
ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਜੀ?
ਇੱਕ ਲੜਕਾ ਤੇ ਲੜਕੀ ਆ।
ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ?
ਇੱਕ 9ਵੀਂ 'ਚ ਫੇਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਲੜਕਾ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਕੰਮ ਸਿੱਖਦਾ। ਤਾਂ ਲੜਕੀ ਉਹ 10ਵੀਂ 'ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ।
ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੰਗੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹ, ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਪੈਸਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਤੰਗੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਉੱਦਾਂ?
ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ, ਹੁਣ ਬੱਚੇ ਸਿਰ 'ਤੇ ਜੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੰਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੀ ਆ। ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਬੱਚੇ ਦਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਖਰਚਾ ਆ, ਰੋਟੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਖਰਚਾ ਆ, ਸਾਰੇ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੁੱਲ ਲੈਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ। ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਸਮਝ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਖਰਚਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ, ਘਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਦਾ ਖਰਚਾ ਆ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮੱਚ ਗੀਤਾ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ, ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖਣ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਹਾਣੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। I think if we go over to Sonia and ask her something a bit about her. Sonia, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ, ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ ਜੀ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ? ਲੱਗਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਮਾੜਾ ਮੋਟਾ ਦੱਸੋ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਕੀ ਆ?
ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ, ਮੈਂ 10th ਕਲਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਆ।
ਤਾਂ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਤੇ?
ਨਹੀਂ, ਵੱਡੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਲੀ ਕੰਨਿਆ ਸਕੂਲ।
ਹਾਂ।
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਸੀ, ਪਹਿਲੀ ਤੋਂ 5ਵੀਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੀ। ਫਿਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਔਜਲੇ, 6ਵੀਂ ਤੋਂ 8ਵੀਂ ਤੱਕ। ਹੁਣ +2 ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ।
ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੀ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ?
ਮੈਂ 15 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਈ।
ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ 15 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ?
ਮੈਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ।
ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ। ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ?
18 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ।
ਫਿਰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ। Now we spoke to Sonia and her ambitions of continuing with her studies and actually joining the police force. Now it's nice for a child to have ambition, and it's been very nice to see Sonia working very, very hard in their simple house and in their simple lifestyle to try and achieve that. Jassa, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ?
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ।
ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ?
ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ, ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਸੀ।
ਹਾਂ, ਤੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਸੌਖੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਔਖੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ?
ਔਖੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਥੋੜੀ।
ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਔਖੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀ ਹੈ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੰਮੀ ਨੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ?
ਮੰਮੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਕੰਮ ਸਿੱਖਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਸਿੱਖ ਲਾ, ਜੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਨੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰ ਲਾ।
ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ?
ਹੁਣ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੋਵਾਈ ਅੱਡੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਜੀ।
ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਂ ਟਰੈਕਟਰ ਦਾ ਵਰਕਸ਼ਾਪ ਹੈ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਤਾਂ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ?
ਇਹ ਜੀ ਬਣਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ ਟਰੈਕਟਰਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਵਰਕਸ਼ਾਪ ਵਾਲੇ।
ਹਾਂ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਆਪ ਕਰਦੇ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਤਨਖਾਹ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੂੰ?
ਹਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਇਹ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ।
ਹਾਲੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਿਆ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਫਿਰ ਹਮਾਰੀ।
ਹਾਂ, ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ। Every child has got the ability. People said that, you know, he was not academically able to do anything, but every child has got the ability. You just got to push him in that direction. Geeta made the wise decision to, you know, get him to learn a trade. He's now doing that, and I can guarantee you, if I come back in a year's time, he will be a different person. Now, that was just one family, and I hope you appreciated this family, the simple lifestyle they got. Geeta's on her own because her partner has passed away, and they're trying to do the best that they can do, and that is what village life is about. Some people have got the money, some people haven't. It's what you do with your life, not actually what you've got in monetary wise. Later on, hopefully we'll join a different type of family and see how they live and work. Until then, I'll say bye. Today we're showing you an alternative way of life. We're not actually in the village, we're now just outside the village at one of the coup. You know, the well I was on about, where the water comes out for the irrigation of the fields and everything else. This is also where, if people have got majja like the ones we got here, Majja are the ones which produce milk. It's not like in the UK or anywhere else where you go down to Sainsbury's or Morrison's and pick up a pint of milk. Here, a lot more work is actually involved. So I'm going to show you a bit about where the milk comes from and how you actually look after the Majja which produce the milk. Looking after the Majja is not an easy feat. There's a lot of work involved. First, you'll get somebody like Amrik here going out into the fields and cutting some food for the Majja. Now, this is not actually going to be given directly to them, but this is where the process starts. After Amrik has cut food for the Majja in the field, they bring it here and they put it through the shredder. Leaves you with this. This is then fed to the Majja, which is going to do a bit later on, because at the moment they are actually going to be milking the Majja. And now you can see firsthand where your milk comes from. As you can see, life in Punjab is not easy as people think it is. Young people have to work in the mornings, in the evenings, in fact at any time of the day. Amrik in the morning comes, does his work from 5 or 6 in the morning, goes home, washes up, gets himself dressed, and then goes and studies at the college in Flore, which is about an hour away. Then when he comes back, feeds himself, and then back to the chores again. It's not an easy life, but you can understand why a lot of the youth in India these days are trying to escape from this life and try to better themselves by going to the UK, Canada, America. You can't say to them, why are you doing it? You can understand that, why. But hopefully you've also seen why and where your milk actually comes from when you go to Sainsbury's. It is not straightforward getting a 4-pinter from the shelves. There's a lot more work involved with people like Amrik. I am now standing in one of the focal points of the village. People gather underneath this tree, sit having a chat about problems in the village or just have a gossip. But more importantly, sometimes if there's a death in the village, they will come down here and pay their respects. It's early in the morning, people are off to work, children are on their way to school, and village life goes on. But as I walk through the village, I can see properties of all shapes and sizes. Some are basic houses, which people are living in and getting on with their lives. But then on the other hand, you've got large mansions 4 or 5 stories high. But as we are walking up the village, you can actually see my parents' house as well. My parents' house, as with most houses in the village, is locked up because my mother only comes here once a year. I'm just now coming up to the Gurdwara in Mowai. While I'm out here, outside the Gurdwara, it'll be an ideal time for me to say I had a cancer scare. I was sent to the hospital to have a 20-minute biopsy, which turned out with complications. It turned out into a 3.5-hour massive experience with me ending up in intensive care. I woke up with machines connected all over me, and everybody thought I was going to die. But I didn't have cancer. I survived. What was the reason? Only God knows, as I stand outside the Gurdwara. But what I have done is used this experience, or my second chance of life, to actually continue on with some of the work that I enjoy doing, some of the seva that I enjoy doing, helping other people. I'll go out to different parts of the world to help children, build houses and do the best I can. I've been up to Romania, been over to Tanzania, been all over the world doing seva. I don't have to do it, but I feel that I want to put something back into society, and there was a reason that God gave me a second chance in life. Okay, that's me, but what about you? You may be having a healthy life, but what are you doing? Now, I always say, it's not how you show it on the outside, it's actually what's actually inside your heart, and how you actually use that and actually do things with it which produce results, which is how you should be living your life. This is me, this is my village, this is the village of Mowai, and here am I outside the Gurdwara, the same. I'm lucky to have what little bit I've got. I appreciate it, and I will make sure that I continue to do the best I can with it. We are here today in Belga. Belga is just next to Mowai, and I'm very, very fortunate to be able to come and visit the Gurdwara in Belga. Why? Well, this is where, when Guru Arjan Dev was going to get married, this was the place that he stayed the night before he went on to Mosab, which is a bit further down. He stayed here the night, and there are quite a few clothing items of Guru Arjan Dev Ji in this Gurdwara. So let's go inside and actually see if we can see these items.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਇਹ ਸਥਾਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਾਓ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਾਤਾ ਗੰਗਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਆਹਣ ਲਈ ਆਏ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਸਥਾਨ ਤੇ ਰੁਕੇ। ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਇਸ ਸਥਾਨ ਤੇ 7 ਕੁਲੀਆਂ ਸਨ। 7 ਕੁਲੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਾਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਈ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਤਨੋ ਮਨੋ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ 7 ਕੁਲੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਦੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਵਧਣ ਤੇ ਫੁੱਲਣ ਦਾ ਆਸ਼ੀਰਵਾਦ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਇਸ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ 7 ਕੁਲੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ 7 ਪੱਤੀਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਪ੍ਰਵੇਸ਼ ਹੋਣ ਲਈ 7 ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਹਨ। ਇਹ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਆਸ਼ੀਰਵਾਦ ਨਾਲ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਪਿੰਡ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਆਸ਼ੀਰਵਾਦ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਪਿੰਡ ਵੱਧ ਫੁੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਇਹ ਬਸਤਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇਸ ਸਥਾਨ ਤੇ ਆਏ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਇਹ ਬਸਤਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਉਸ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਾਲੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਸੌਂਪੇ। ਇਹ ਬਸਤਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਹਨ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਕੁੜਤਾ ਪਜਾਮਾ, ਦੁਸ਼ਾਲਾ, ਹਜੂਰੀਆ, ਹੱਥ ਸਿਮਰਨਾ, ਸੇਲੀ, ਟੋਪੀ, ਬਟੂਆ ਇਹ ਅਤੇ ਚੰਦਨ ਦੀ ਚੌਂਕੀ, ਇਹ 9 ਵਸਤਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀਆਂ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨੀਆਂ ਹਨ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਇਸ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿਖੇ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹਨ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Visit is going to be complete to India without going to the Golden Temple. So let's go inside and actually have a look.
सतगुर दाता मेल मिलावो, सतगुर दाता मेल मिलावो, हर नाम देवो आधार।
My journey from the UK to my village of Mowai is coming to an end. What a better place for it to end than at Harmandir Sahib, a place that is open to all, as signified in the 4 entrances to Harmandir Sahib. What can I leave you with? Nothing better than Harmandir Sahib in the background. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.